it's like this kind of trifecta then of having a very clear kind of offer or transformation, a key map of stages for kind of how you get them there, and an assumption of the role of yourself as not as the teacher per se, but as the accountability buddy that's going to make sure that they're actually doing the work. And I think that's actually probably what kind of sets us apart in terms of how we approach our own program with the teacherpreneurs that we work with, which is very much we 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 see ourselves as doing that, taking them through their transformation, being very transparent with the steps they need to take, but at the end of the day, holding them accountable. And I think, I mean, most of the teacherpreneurs that I talk to in our network, I think that's probably the biggest compliment that we get is, without you guys, I never would have done this, right? And they're not talking about made more money or found 100 students. They're talking about, I never would have actually done it, like tick those boxes. And I think it's the exact same mindset that language teachers should be having with their own students. And that is, your job is less about delivering content and it's more about making sure your students are putting in the work to get to that transformation. And ironically, it actually involves you doing less work and giving more control over to the students. And it's just hard. It's counterintuitive, but it's the way to go.
This is the Teacher Talking Time podcast.
It's a really good point, I think. If you imagine your client asking you, what do I need to do this? Right? Because ultimately that's why someone will sign up with you, right? We have teachers say that who join TAP all the time. Like, I want to do this. I'm really passionate. I just don't know what to do. Show me what to do. And then you give them the steps, right? And if you're a teacher and you're listening, and imagine your client asks you that, and if you're unsure about how you would answer that question, you're probably not specific enough in the niche, the problem you solve, and then the steps in your version of your solution to get to that transformation, independent of your role within that process. So maybe that's an opportunity there to think about, okay, what is the actual transformation that I offer? We use that word a lot, but like what's the goal of your clients, right? What's the niche? What do they come to you for? Get really granular, really specific, get non-linguistic, and then write down 3 to 5 steps that you've seen be really successful with all of your clients, students from wherever, to get that goal. Write them down, and then you would have at least a beta, draft 1 version of an answer to that question.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
But there's a danger in that. Leo, we talked about this before.
What is it?
Don't create solutions. Don't start with this. Don't create solutions to problems that no one cares about.
You said that. I've talked to so many teachers recently. They're like, oh, I've created this really good program. I'm like, do you think people are going to buy it? Teachers love creating. We love creating. But I think it's a lesson. It's a mistake that we've made and a lesson that we've learned, that you need to figure out if this course, whatever you're designing, actually solves a problem that people actually have. We always think about like the hoverboard. I always think about the hoverboard. I was talking to my kids this weekend, and we were talking about like businesses. I was talking to my son about like, having more of an entrepreneurial mindset and all that. And he's like, we saw a bunch of kids on a hoverboard, right? And I was like, oh man, I haven't seen one of those in a long time. And I was thinking about it, like, what's the problem that a hoverboard solves?
Good question. Depends on the person, I think.
It's mostly for kids, yes.
The first thing that comes to my mind is it solves a problem for parents. Kids are bored, kids are acting up, they need a distraction. It's the same thing that an iPad solves for parents.
Yeah.
Gives them something to do for a while. Parents get a
The only
break.
difference is that the hoverboards, they explode, right? They overheat. So
Perfect.
So basically they're creating again, I think the point is the hoverboard is a solution to a problem that we already have tons of other solutions for.
Also,
So it's very similar to what you said earlier. Like teachers are creating solutions to problems that other places are solving, like language schools are solving. So I think what teachers really need to figure out is like, what is a very specific problem that I'm solving for a very specific group of people, and I have a very specific method or way of guiding them through that. That's what I don't see.
and like really, really like dig, like
I don't see
really
that.
dig. Like if your answer to that is something about confidence, no.
You haven't dug
If your
enough.
answer to that
No.
is something about grammar,
No.
no. If your answer to that, like, no, 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 right? You got to keep like dig, 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 and that's just from talking to people, and they'll tell you, right? Just got to ask the right questions, ask the follow up questions. Confidence with what specifically? Why do you not feel confident now? How long have you not felt confident? If you had like, what tasks are you actually doing throughout your life where you don't feel confident? Why is that an important enough problem for you to pay to solve? Are you okay to just keep suffering? Like, really, really ask those questions, and you'll find. I want to share this niche with you that I discovered recently. You'll find something, and this one is going to sound really, really bizarre. I guess it is a little bit. Are you guys familiar with toad venom?
Toad venom.
That's what they put on darts, don't they? Poisonous spears and arrows and stuff to take
There's-
down animals. Yeah.
Apparently different varieties of toad venom. Some are poisonous, some are not.
People getting high on this thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't Homer Simpson lick some toads? And
So a member of my family, my aunt, one of my aunts is a lawyer, and she's semi-retired, but she's kind of carved out a nice little niche for herself where she reads manuscripts of books that are about to be published or getting ready to be published to make sure that there's no slander or libel in the book. So the publishers hire her to read, and from a legal perspective, make sure that everything's kind of good to go from a slander and libel perspective. And she was reading one recently on, the manuscript was on toad venom and the benefits of toad venom. I think she said, well, I don't really think it's for me. There's no libel or slander in the book. But that occurred to me when my dad was telling me that story. I'm like, man, that's an interesting niche. Like, when you think of lawyers, you don't really think of that, but someone's got to do that, right? So someone's got to read the manuscripts to make sure that everything's, check before you publish it, to avoid being sued or huge lawsuits. Like, the more you dig into a niche area, as Leo reads about toad venom, I'm sure.
I am reading about toad venom.
The more you'll find.
It's crazy. It's fantastic stuff here. I'm obsessed now. But again,
you have to
a
get a good
person
strain,
who's like,
Leo. Get a good strain and
but,
some
but it's what you're
microdosing.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
What you're saying, Andrew, is like you are just in such a specific niche, and you're going to be attracting such a specific group of people. And I feel like teachers are so creative, a lot of them, not all of them, but they're so innovative. And I wonder, where's that innovation when it comes to creating an audience? Where's that innovation when it comes to carving your own little niche, a little corner of the internet? Where's that innovation when it comes to coming up with an offer that is different from everyone else out there? I don't see any of that. What I see, and I'm sorry to say this, all I'm seeing is the same crap being rehashed over and over and over again. Improve your confidence, gain your confidence. I can help you improve your grammar. It's like, really? Can we do any better than this?
I think, Leo, maybe that stems back to the original problem, which is because teachers like to because teachers like to create, they do so that they don't have to commit to one thing. So, for example, I might teach something one way for a certain period of time, and I could keep teaching it this way because it works and it's successful, but oh no, I want to go out and create a new way, or I want to try something different. Because I'm bored of that, or I'm worried that the students are getting sick of it, so I wonder, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's innovation, but I wonder if there's also this reluctance to just commit to one thing.
There is.
What's the expression you like to use, Andrew? Chasing chasing
Shiny objects.
chasing shiny objects, right? Like, yeah. Where if it's general enough, like confidence, then I can just keep adding new shiny objects to this program that I think will help confidence. Versus if you're really specific, it changes it from entertainment and adding shiny objects. You move away from that towards accountability, which is I could keep adding all of this stuff, but at the end of the day, my sole purpose of my program is to make sure they get from point A to point B. And I'm just going to dedicate all of my time and energy to working on that and hold my students accountable for those actions rather than thinking I need to keep adding A, B, C, and D to a new one.
So interesting, right? Like what you sell as a teacher isn't content. Like you don't need more videos, you don't need more PDFs, you don't need more handouts, you don't need more stuff. Just get them to the goal. Results. As simple as possible, as quickly as possible. And maybe one of the causes of that kind of mindset as well is that I need to keep this one student or keep this student for as long as possible because they'll keep paying. And to get them to keep paying, I have to create something new, right? So my answer to that is two-pronged. One, if you really have a very specific offer and get a really specific result for your client, they should be done and then have a nice life, right? See you later. Congratulations, by the way, you're done. Good job. And then on the other hand, hey, maybe there's another goal, another thing that they're working on within the same umbrella, and they need some accountability, to Mike's point, with that, where I can, renew them, but not with more. People don't want to watch more videos. They don't want to have more things to do. They just want more results and focusing on that as well.
Or even they just want to maintain the great habits they've learned, right? So Leo will come to a point where perhaps he won't want to work with his personal trainer anymore or continue in the same program as it's designed. But maybe he wants to still keep those routines. Maybe he still wants to have someone hold him accountable. So perhaps there's a way that personal trainer can design a program for people like Leo who have kind of been through it. They've reached their health goals, but they just don't want to lose those habits, right? They want to stay engaged.
I think that's one of the main reasons why I stay is because I have accountability. Yeah. I think I'm paying mostly for accountability. Right. There's someone who every 8 weeks I will have to send pictures to, and they will have to say, you didn't do this, you didn't achieve because again, it's all on me. It's all on me. He said, I will help you achieve this transformation, but you have to do the work.
Why did you choose him, Leo, originally? I'm sure you looked at different options. What was it about him and his offer that said to you, this is the one?
I think it's, first of all, the hands-off approach, the accountability approach. I think, I don't want to go to the gym and have someone working out with me. I see sometimes people at the gym and they have a personal trainer with them and they're like chit-chatting. I don't feel like you work out well that way. I feel like you chat more than you actually exercise. Which actually,
I was thinking about
which is exactly
Andrew,
what happens.
Yeah, Andrew talks about helicopter teachers,
exactly,
helicopter parents, and helicopter teachers, helicopter trainers, right?
Helicopter trainers. It's like I feel like those people who go to the gym and they have a personal trainer, they're not so focused on the results. They're more focused on the social aspect. So they're paying for the socialization at the gym. Yeah. I'm not paying for that. I'm paying for someone who's like, this is what you need to eat. This is how you should exercise. In 8 weeks, we'll see each other again.
That's the niche.
You can get the socializing aspect at the school, right, Andrew? Yeah.
That's the niche, though, right? So, as we say, you need something different. You need to niche down, but no one's reinventing the wheel, right? You're helping people communicate better, probably in some capacity. Yeah. Your trainer helps people work out, get more fit, just as the other ones do who work out side by side. In the other one, there are different offers, there are different niches, there are different corners of the market, right?
They're both personal trainers.
They're both personal trainers, and if I'm a person who likes a more social atmosphere when I work out, I don't really care about the working out. I just want to be social. Maybe I go with the other one. Fine, I'm sure your trainer wouldn't be offended. That's his exclusion criteria, right? And then people who are more like you, who really just want the results, don't care about the socialization, at least in terms of working out, and have a little bit more probably autonomy to implement or self autonomy to implement a plan that someone would give you. That's the niche that this trainer has, right? So in teaching, yeah, if you really get it down to it, most teachers are helping someone with, a communicative aspect at some level. But what's your je ne sais quoi that you add to it? What's your little twist, little difference that people will choose you and not somebody else? Not because these reasons are good reasons or bad reasons. They just make people different.
That is the best way to wrap this up, because we can leave that for people as homework. That's their homework. Use all that creativity, all that innovation to figure out what your offer is. It's something meaningful. Think of a solution to a problem that people actually care about and add your own little tweak. If you need help,
A little flavor.
yeah, and if they need help, what can they do?
Click the link below. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description. If you're listening in Spotify or any other app, click the link at the top of the description there. Or if you're just listening, learnyourenglish.net/schedule. You can book a free consult with one of us, and we'll chat about your offer and give you some strategies, some feedback on it, and how to make it better. And then if you're looking for some real accountability or some extra help, we can talk about the TAP program and how it works and how you can join it. And if you think it's a good fit, a good fit for you, we can talk about how you can join.